I found a hotel receipt, so I waited in the dark. Hook, receipts tell stories if you read them like novels. This one said room 417, one glass of house red and late checkout. It sat on our dresser for 2 days like a dare. On the third, I booked the same room and turned off every light. My name is Daniel, 37, systems engineer, good at making complex things talk to each other and terrible at doing the same at home. My wife is Maya, 36, curator of pop-up dinners and temporary rooms that feel permanent for a night. We rent a one-bedroom, keep 3 plants alive, and a rule against eating in bed we sometimes break. We were fine. Fine should come with a warning label. We were punctual with kisses and faithful in ways that scan on paper, but paper is thin. The receipt's date matched the night she said a venue ran late. The total was small enough to be nothing and specific enough to be everything. Room 417, a glass of red, late checkout. I asked reasonable questions in unreasonable tones. Long night. Good crowd, she answered reasonably. Yes. Loud. She kissed my forehead the way she always does, grateful, honest enough. I wanted to believe her. I also wanted an answer I didn't have to coax like a shy animal. Room 417 was at the harbor, the only hotel in our neighborhood with velvet chairs and opinions. I checked in like a man cheating on a theory and told the desk my wife would join me later. The room was a catalog of decisions. Concrete wall, soft lamp, a window the size of a confession. I turned off the lights, sat by the window, and waited. At 7:28, someone tried the handle, then 2 knocks. Not polite, not frantic. A ritual. Come in, I said. Maya stepped inside, black dress, flats in hand, hair up like she'd been moving fast. She closed the door with her heel and stood until her eyes adjusted. Who's there? She asked, not afraid, just following the script of a strange night. Someone who read a receipt, I said. Silence, then a breath that had words in it. Daniel. I turned on the lamp. We looked at each other like the room was spinning, and we agreed not to mention it. She lined her flats heel to toe. Why didn't you ask me? She said. I did, I said. You answered like a person. I needed the answer you give when the lights are off. She nodded, then turned them off. I did. In the dark, sound got bigger, fabric floorboards, the faint tick of air. I came here last week, she said, alone. Why? To remember what my body feels like when it isn't carrying a day, she said. To take a bath without worrying about the tub ring. To drink one glass of wine and watch a city that doesn't know me. I didn't lie. I edited. I should have told you the director's cut. I was afraid you'd take it personally. Why didn't you choose me to rest with you? Because I wanted to choose nothing. It wasn't the answer I'd rehearsed against. Were you meeting someone? I asked, because jealousy is an old algorithm. No, she said, I was meeting absence, and I know how that sounds. We stood on either side of the lamp's shadow, like 2 jurors in a trial with no judge. Tell me something I don't know, I said. I keep a list of things I want that don't belong on grocery lists, she said. It's called quiet hunger. Number 1, sit in a room with my husband without fixing anything for 40 minutes. Number 2, be looked at like a plan, not a habit. Number 3, find a way to want again that feels like wanting, not maintenance. Maintenance is my religion, I said. I tithe to it daily. I know, she said. You make our life possible. I don't want to burn it down. I want to light a candle and not make a spreadsheet about wax. We were quiet. I turned the lamp back on. Soft light is kinder than honesty, but it helps you hold it. Okay, I said. Why is the ring on a chain today? She touched the necklace. I was carrying glass, she said, then smiled. And because I didn't want you to see my hands tremble and think the worst. I thought the worst anyway, I said. And here we are. She sat on the bed, tucked one leg under. Let's make a rule, she said. For tonight only, we cannot fix, we can want. We can say I feel or I wish or I remember. No sentences that begin you always or you never. Add one, I said. When we touch, it means only I'm here. No keeping score. Deal, she said, and patted the bed. I sat. Our shoulders touched, the small electric fact of heat. Instead of speeches, she leaned sideways until her head found my chest. Her breath slowed. I remember our first night in the apartment, she said. Before the couch, noodles on the floor, your knee kept bumping the radiator. You said heat is a promise, not a guarantee. I remember our wedding, I said. You forgot your bouquet and held a candle, wax on your knuckles, you didn't flinch. Each memory poured warm water over something brittle. We weren't clearing our names. We were reintroducing ourselves to the judge that is time. Do you want me? She asked almost absently. Yes, I said, and let want be a verb. We kept it clean enough for every algorithm and true enough for both of us. A wrist, a jawline, a slow unzipping of distance. The bed creaked like an old friend trying not to laugh. It wasn't a performance, it was a translation. When we paused, she drew a circle on my chest, the place she returns to when she's in the neighborhood of happy. I didn't come here to cheat, she said. I came to ask my body a question without inviting the committee. I should have told you. I should have said, I need a room that doesn't ask me for anything. I could have been that room, I said, and heard the arrogance in it. She met it with mercy. Sometimes the room has to be a room, she said, and sometimes the body that lives in the room needs to remember it's not just furniture. We lay and listen to the air do what air does. What do we do now? I asked. Make a smaller promise than forever, she said. Something we can cash. This week. This week, she said. 3 things. No phones after 9 except to play music. One night where we leave the apartment for an hour and then come back on purpose. And one question each that costs a little more than we want to pay. Okay, I said. My question, what does your body miss? Being looked at like I'm a discovery, not a solved puzzle, she said. Not always. Sometimes being solved is a relief, but sometimes I want to be the problem worth working. My turn, she asked. Hit me. What are you protecting when you go quiet? An old story, I said, that I'm useful when I'm invisible, that if no one needs anything, I won. That desire makes messes and messes cost money. Let's practice being poor, she said, laughing, poor in answers, rich in attention. We ordered fries and ate them with our fingers, ketchup on a napkin, our pants on the floor like teenagers who rented adulthood for the weekend. She told me about a client who wanted a chandelier of lemons. I told her about a server migration that felt like moving a city while it slept. We touched each other with intention and absent-mindedly, remembering that touch is a language, not just prelude. At midnight, she took a fresh receipt from her purse, the lobby bar's glass of red she didn't order. I brought this in case you needed a prop for anger, she said. I don't think you do. No, I said. I needed furniture for the truth. She laid the hotel pen across it like a paperweight. Keep it, she said. Not as evidence, as reminder. Of what? That sometimes the shortest way back is a detour. We set the alarm for late checkout even though we live 12 minutes away. In the morning we showered, didn't rush the towels, watched the river move like time does when you stop asking it to be dramatic. At the desk, the clerk asked if everything was okay with the room. Maya looked at me. I looked at her. Better than okay, she said. Outside, the city behaved like itself, a mercy. We walked home with the receipt in my pocket and our smaller promise in our mouths. We didn't solve marriage. We made it a room again, one we wanted to enter together. That night when a phone buzzed after 9, I ignored it. I put on a record. Maya lay on the rug and looked at the ceiling like there were answers up there. Room 417, she said. We should name a plant after it. Done, I said. Something low maintenance that still asks to be watered. Perfect, she said and reached for my hand. That's us.